Hey guys, so Fru here. Today I'm going to borrow a concept from a Silicon Valley billionaire. His name is Peter Thiel. And he talks about contrarian thinking. So thinking to the contrary of what everybody else is thinking, right? And just to give an idea for those of you who've never heard about Peter Thiel, he was a big investor in Facebook, so he's made a lot of money. And I think that he invested in PayPal, I believe, I'm not quite sure, with Elon Musk before getting into Facebook. And after Facebook, he's invested in Palantir. And he's just one of these very smart guys that has made a lot of money. And he's also a very interesting person because he has a lot of opinions, and he shares a lot of those opinions on Facebook, on YouTube, on social media platform. If you search, you'll probably see Peter Thiel talking about something. So this idea that he has about contrarian thinking is, I think he mentioned that he uses that during his interviews. So when he interviews people, he always tries to ask them a question to say, what is one thing that you know to be sure or to be very true and you believe in that no one else understands or agrees with or knows that as well, right? So he's just basically trying to see that what is it that you really understand and you know to be very true in this world that the people around you just don't see it or they just don't get it yet, right? And it doesn't mean that you're right, but I think when he does that, it's just a matter of thinking and seeing that what is it that you're thinking. Like, can you think to the contrary, or are you just somebody that follows what everybody is following or what everybody's talking about? Guys, so bear with me. I'm just out camping. So my hammock is back there. There's just some flies going around. But so going back to the video. So going to the idea of contrarian thinking, he's just trying to say what is it that you think about that others don't just get it yet, right? But I want to take that to the next level and really pose it that to you guys that are following my channel or my work or IT and things like that, to say, guys, take it to your career, take it to your profession, take it to your company, take it to your team, take it to the organization you work for. What is the one thing within your organization, within your team, within your group, within your squad, if you're doing agile, that you know to be 100% sure or you really fundamentally believe, but that not everyone gets it or sees it yet? What is it? Again, the point is just to think. It's not that you have to go out and try to convince everyone to see what you're trying to see. That's a whole different topic. But the point is just to go through that mental exercise of seeing that, can you have an opinion? Do you see things that others don't just say it? And it's at least it's a good starting point, right? Whether or not you choose to act on that and try to convince people your way is a whole different story. But the fundamental challenge is that most people do not even think differently. They don't even see things in a different way, right? They just see what everybody else is saying. And what Peter Thiel says is, or in his thinking, in his philosophy, is that that's not necessarily the position you want to be in. You should be able to see things to the contrary. You should be able to think contrarily, right? You should be able to, have opinions that others don't necessarily agree with, but that you can argue for and you can hopefully be able to defend in a very solid way, right? Again, it's a very interesting concept because people can go really crazy with this, right? It doesn't mean that every single crazy idea that is out there is you can just go crazy and start coming up with all kind of crazy ideas because you're trying to follow contrarian thinking. But at the same time, who am I to judge and say your ideas are crazy? Because some of the people who came up with the best inventions and the best innovations in the world at the time were thought to be crazy, right? I'm sure Thomas Edison, when he was trying to figure out the light bulb, people said, oh, you're probably crazy, right? We're used to light, candle lights and burning oil. Why would you want to come up with, why would you want to come up with the light bulb, right? Or Ford coming up with the Ford motor car. People were probably crazy, thinking he's crazy and saying, we need to have horses. Why do you need a car when the horses and the wagons can take us from A to B? It's just crazy for you to be coming up with a car, right? Or when, Bill Gates, famously, very smart guy, lots of money, said, only a couple of gigabytes of memory or RAM was ever needed for a PC, and that anything more than that is just silly, right? But if you look at now, we live in a very totally different reality, all because of people who once at some point had crazy ideas, or contrarian ideas. So that question really, which is the reason why I'm making this video, is to say, what is that one idea, especially for your profession or for your team? You gotta think closer to you, what you do, and say, just come up with one, right? One idea that you know to be very, very true, but that others just don't see it yet. What is it, guys? Make sure you go into the comment section below. Be sure to share that. I'll be very excited to engage in that and have some conversations around it. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.